The journey with this house started in 2018. My husband and I had a vision of teaching our children grow and to provide for themselves and through hard work, and wanted to teach our children stuff that we weren't taught. We didn't know how to do. So we also wanted to learn and teach our children and our family go along this journey together and growing our own food and reap the benefits of our work on our own land. We had this vision and desire to do that, but we had no property and very little money. So we dreamed big, and one day we were in Bible study and we expressed our vision to our other brothers and sisters in Christ, and we just all prayed. We prayed that if it was the Lord's will for us to have this vision, or if this vision was something that was for us to have, that He would provide a way. So that was on a Thursday night, and Monday morning my husband went into work and asked some coworkers, actually asked one coworker, the first coworker he had thought to ask, if anyone had some property for sale that he knew. And that coworker said, "Yeah, I know somebody, me." So not even a few months after we had prayed, we were owners of 2.3 acres. And what an amazing feeling, especially when the price asked for this piece of property was exactly everything that we had saved for the past 10 years. Now, mind you, I quit being a hairdresser to stay at home, to be a stay-at-home homeschool mom, and so therefore our income had, greatly decreased. So being able to save anything on that kind of income was a miracle, especially homeschooling, where you're buying all your books and, now suddenly you're needing more supplies and, all this other kinds of stuff. So penny pinching became my profession, and it paid off. It paid off. Just being very crucial of every financial decision was my job at that point on. And so this property purchase was a result of my husband and mine, our hard work to purchase it. And yes, it was scary to drain every dime out of our savings to purchase it, especially after 10 years, actually probably a little more than 10 years of saving, and then it to just be gone. But we knew we had prayed about this. God knew what was in our hearts. We prayed for His will to be done in our lives, and it was literally the quickest prayer answered ever. Well, not quite, but almost the quickest prayer answered. And little did we know that this journey would have traveled down these rocky roads and what have you. So from then on, it was the kids and my husband and I. We all came out to the property on the weekends when we had some time, and we would just start hacking away. We didn't even own a gas chainsaw at that time. We just had an electric one that we would use around the house. We lived in a neighborhood with very minimal yard works, and I had just started wood turning, so we didn't have that kind of equipment. So we were just coming out here with literally a sawzall, battery-powered sawzall, and hand saws and whatever it is we had to kind of like pave a way so we can actually get into the property and see what it looked like. It was a lot of work just clearing out the front half. It took months, and we could only work during the cool weather because it was just way too hot. This whole 2.3 acres was tightly brush. Along the way, we discovered some amazing stuff that was already growing here, an abundance of it as well. Muscadine grapes, passion fruit. I have 2 mulberry trees now. We did have one, and I turned it into 2. And beauty berries. There's a lot of medicinal stuff here, pokeweed, things that people would just normally just whack down and get rid of. There's medicine here, there's food here. So about 2.5 years after we had purchased the property, my husband and I felt, okay, it's time to start really getting serious about what we're going to do with it. What are we going to do? We're going to build a house. Who are we going to have build a house? And after much consideration and many, shopping for houses, we decided on Palmwood Construction for multiple reasons. At that time, for multiple reasons, we felt that would be a good way to go. So we started process the paperwork, and meantime getting our home ready to sell. So we sold our house in July of 2021. We had living arrangements and plans for until our house was built, but that fell through, and we had to live in a camper on my in-laws' property. I never want to do that again. But the Lord took care of us. It's strange. This journey had revealed to us a lot of things, and unexpected supporters and unexpected hinderers came along during this journey, and there was a lot of downs. I just thought we would never see the end of the headaches and the heartaches and the disappointments. And then there was moments of total miracles and uplifting and wow, and then there was, it was an emotional and physical roller coaster, this journey. I look back at it. A lot of people told me during the journey, hey, look, you're going to look back on it and you're just going to realize how far you came and all the work and the sacrifice you did. And this, the house is going to be amazing and it's going to be so worth it. And it is. Yeah, this journey has been worth it. We worked hard, to say the least. Like I said, unexpected things just bombarded us. I don't think I've ever been so stressed, depressed, and anxiety. And I could write a book. And I know some of you might be that know us a little more personal, and I've shared some things with you throughout this process may understand. And those of you who don't know, the past 2 years have been hell. I just want to honestly say that I wish I could be that Christian person that's like, oh well, it's not so bad. No, it was. And there are times where I didn't lean on the Lord, and there were times where I was begging Him for mercy, and repenting of not leaning on Him when I should, and it was a spiritual roller coaster, physical roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. My kids handled it pretty well, living in the camper, up until about the last year. Well, last 6 months. They were ready. They were ready just as well as we were. We had been ready to be out of a camper and living in a normal home and having space. For us, it might have been a little different. For some people who are living in a camper, we, stay at home homeschool. So we're constantly in a small box. Needless to say, the benefits of living in a camper prior to building a home is that when you get into your house, it is ginormous. It doesn't matter if it's just 100 square foot more than your camper. It feels ginormous. I can't express to you how humongous this house feels to me still, and this property. Just walking down to the mailbox, it feels like it takes forever. And I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, all of this hard work was totally worth it. I wish we could have, foregone a lot of the sacrifice and the hard work and a lot of the tears and a lot of the health issues and things like that from stress. I wish we could have foregone some of that. That would have been great. But it is what it is, and it happened the way it happened. And I think the Lord used a lot of it to reveal our hearts to ourselves, and to, use it as a teaching tool. So what an amazing prayer that was in 2000, and actually it was 2017. We prayed that prayer. 2018, we became owners of property, which started this journey. And wow, who would have known? We would have never thought. We would have never thought. So there are a lot of things with the house that are not completed. We did our closing 2 weeks before Father's Day. Well, we did our walkthrough 2 weeks before Father's Day, and they gave us our CO, even though there was 5 pages worth of things that weren't completed or fixed. But unfortunately, and I think Homewood knows this for sure. They've been in this for a long time. They know how to work this stuff. Anyways, after you get your CO, banks have a certain amount of time you have to do your closing. Once you do your closing, you're getting paid your mortgage. You're getting charged your mortgage, and regardless whether you're living there or not, you're paying. So we had 10 days after our CO to get to close, and we already had stretched that out a little bit because Palmwood had not completed all of the things on the list. We had already paid them, signed for the last draw to be done. We were hoping that they would stay true to their word and get things done as soon as possible. And it's now 53 days since they said that they were going to get these things completed, and they are not. My son's toilet for his bathroom is in his room still, and has been for about a week before we moved in. We moved in the weekend of Father's Day. So yeah, we're still in the middle of back and forth with them trying to get things taken care of, and it is a headache. So as you can see, I have my green goblin here, my Harbor Freight green goblin. My Laguna is in storage along with all my other big tools. We just couldn't fit them in the garage. So I do have my bowl gouges and all of those to accommodate, working on this little lathe. I also have my resin molds and resin. I still got to get my pressure pot from storage in order to start doing some resin. And I have some leftover resin from before we moved. So we'll see if that stuff works still. I don't know. I haven't tried casting with any of it yet. I had a few jugs of resin that I had left over before we moved, and so we'll see how well that stuff cures and held up. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get some casting done and turning for sure. I have a lot of things that I could have made this past 2 years that have been so useful, especially living in a camper, but unfortunately just couldn't turn it. So a lot of kitchen items, a lot of things that I can still use, and cannot wait to start making those. As far as the shop goes, it's going to take a little bit. The shop is not a major priority, but it is definitely on the need to start getting started on it very soon priority. So hopefully I will do a better job at documenting that process. So the shop will be a multi-use. It's going to have garden, wood turning, flatwork wood working, my husband's hobbies, room for him to do some things. So if you have any suggestions, what not to do, some tools, or maybe some things that just you found that were super helpful as far as maybe storage saving or whatever it may be, put your suggestions in the comments. I'll really be interested in reading through those and seeing what will work for us. And yeah, that's that's that. So I miss y'all, and I'm hoping to get going on this, and maybe even share more. I don't know. I will have to see how that works out. We're we're going to be a lot more busier than we were before, so might have to just take you along with the ride with the gardening and the soap making and sourdough everything. Encourage y'all to fatten yourselves up with me, because next time you see me, I'll be like 1,000,000 pounds and full of bread. Anyway, I pray all are all well, and take care of yourselves. God bless.